Please remain standing. Julian Rosales will now sing the national anthem.
Through the perilous fight.
Making his way to the podium to officiate this year's commencement ceremony is College of Alameda President, Dr. Eric Gravenberg.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am indeed most proud of our graduates assembled here today. For you parents, community members, guests, we welcome you to our home. Graduates, I want to let you know this is a milestone of significant proportions. First, you are completing your academic degrees. Second, and more importantly, it is a new beginning. And in that new beginning, you have your family, your community, your loved ones surrounded here to hold you up high today. The College of Alameda is noted for three important things: academic excellence, budgetary competence, and community collaboration. These are the ABCs of the College of Alameda, and it is best expressed by the collaboration we have from all of what we call our shared governance bodies. I would like to extend an invitation for each of them to join on this podium and welcome you. They will be in order: Trulie Thompson, President of the Academic Senate, followed by Brenda Lewis, President of the Classified Council, and then our Student Body President, Elijah Williams. Julie?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Trulie Thompson, and I am the President of the Academic Senate. On behalf of the outstanding faculty, we want to wish you, the class of 2014, congratulations. When I first found out that I'd have the honor of addressing you today, I asked for some feedback about how to create an engaging commencement speech. And one suggestion was to share an inspirational quote or words of wisdom, and I thought that was excellent, but I didn't want to just have it just be my words of wisdom, and so the faculty have collected some sayings and quotes that we hope that you will find motivational and inspirational to you, and to remind you of the faculty who are so proud of the work that you've done and of your accomplishment today, and to motivate you as you begin the next leg of your academic journey. Another suggestion someone gave me was to find something that the audience could relate to. And I thought, what better way to relate than would be music? So I actually turned on the radio to try and find some contemporary songs that I might be able to use today. And I came across one. It was a really catchy tune, very uplifting, very positive. And the words went something like, "Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is for you. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth." I thought, excellent. This is a great song. I'm going to use it in the speech. And I did. And the reason why it's great is because your family, your friends, and all of the campus community today, we are so happy to celebrate with you this amazing accomplishment. And so I kept listening, and then I came across another song. This one was more dramatic and more moving. It was about a young woman who was facing her fears and not letting obstacles prevent her from accomplishing her goals and having courage to face her future. And the lyrics went something like, "Let it go. Let it go. Can't hold me back anymore. Let it go. Let it go. Turn away and slam that door." And I thought, oh, some of you recognize the song. I see you singing it already. And I thought this was excellent because many of you have overcome obstacles, maybe people who have told you that you'd never make it today, and you're here, and you're facing your fears, and we're, you know, it's a wonderful time. And so I thought that was a great song. I see I'm getting the signal. I have to hurry up and wrap up. So the last suggestion that I came across was to have active audience participation. So I'm going to need your help as I conclude my speech. So can you help me here? Sounds good. But you have to smile when you do this. Clap along if you feel like happiness is for you. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold you back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and close that door. Class of 2014, on behalf of the faculty and the Academic Senate, we wish you all the best, and just remember to let it go and be happy. Thank you.
Now you know that's not right. I'm supposed to follow that. I greet you all on behalf of the classified professionals here at the College of Alameda. What a very exciting day it is for you and for your families. We are the frontliners for academics. We are the ones that you see first. We are the ones that you come and you cry to. We are the ones that you tell your troubles to. We are the ones that give you lunch money when you don't have it. We are the ones that give you advice when you need it. We are the ones that make recommendations to you. We are the front line of academics, and we are truly excited about this day when we see students that we've counseled, students that we've talked to, students who may have had a rough time, but they were able to work it out. Today you can say, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Not only yes, I can, you can say, yes, I have. I've already done it. And know what? You can do it again. This is just a small part of your journey. You have your whole future ahead of you. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot. You think back on this day, whenever you have a bad day, and you remember, yes, I can. And that the classified professionals at the College of Alameda, we are waiting with bated breath to hear about all of your successes, all of your new journeys, and all of your dreams that come true. So on behalf of the classified professionals here at the College of Alameda, to the graduating class of 2014, we say congratulations to all of you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gravenberg, Ms. Trulie Thompson, and Ms. Brenda Lewis for those kind remarks. I would like to say good afternoon, College of Alameda, friends, family, faculty, administrators, board members, and most of all, good afternoon to our graduates. I am Alasia Williams, the student body president of the College of Alameda. Allow me to be one of the many who will congratulate you on this day. It has been a hard journey, so take pride in it. I think one special quote describes what I'm feeling today, and that is, we started from the bottom, but now we are here. I believe that each of us can relate to this phrase. Like some of you, before beginning college, I was desperate. I was desperate to move on from a life with no direction or no promise. I felt confused and uninspired. There is no needless to say that I felt that I was at the bottom. All I knew is that I aspired to be something more than what I was, as I am sure all of you do. One of the most blessed things about today is that our prayer came true through goodwill and through hard work. Yes, we stumbled. We came out with a few cuts and bruises, but we are here today and completing what we intended to do. With that being said, let me announce a deeper quote. John F. Kennedy once said, "Let us think of education as the means to developing our greatest abilities, because in each of us there is a private hope and a dream which can be fulfilled if translated into the benefit for everyone for a greater future." The College of Alameda is just a stepping stone. Whether you were the smartest in class or the student who hardly ever went to class, whether you got promoted to school, whether you got promoted this year or you did not, whether you received your financial aid or did not, there is no doubt that you all face difficult trials and tribulations. Sorry. But you are a success. So do yourself a favor and forget all of your worries for a minute. Forget the bills you have to pay, the things that you must complete to get to the next step. Just take this moment to think about what it took to get here and how you did it. This certificate that we are given today is a ticket that states against all odds, we persevered. So take it and show people what you can really do. In my past 2 years at the College of Alameda, I have deciphered my biggest fear, and that is fear within itself. Do not be afraid of people, do not be afraid of situations, and most of all, do not be afraid of yourself. I have uncovered talents that I did not know I had, and I have learned that the strength that I see in others are the weaknesses that I see in myself, so I must improve. Please, graduates, do not be afraid of the greatness that you see in yourselves. Others might discourage it or even hate on it, but listen to your dreams and your intuition. Realize that you can reach the highest of achievements if you are not afraid to hang on, and as soon as you're ready to slip off, just keep hanging on just a little bit tighter. This is an honor. Take it. It is well deserved. Congratulations to the class of 2014.
Bringing good wishes from the Board of Trustees is the Vice Chair of the Board, the Honorable Meredith Brown.
Greetings, class of 2014, the faculty, staff, Chancellor Ortiz, and our platform guests, my fellow trustees. This is truly a joyous occasion, and I'm so glad to have the honor of sharing this moment with you. Today is a celebration of your academic excellence and your commitment to embrace new opportunities and open your mind to the possibilities of your own creativity, your own ingenuity, and your potential. We celebrate you along with your families, friends, mentors, teachers, and all of those who helped you along the way to the success that we celebrate today. The poet and teacher Khalil Gibran said, "The teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your mind." Today you cross the threshold of an academic milestone, and I bid you to keep on moving and do what you have done today. Again and again, reach out beyond that threshold and grasp the endless possibilities that are waiting for you. The Greek philosopher Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Congratulations and welcome to your commencement celebration, College of Alameda, class of 2014.
Now we'll have a brief musical interlude from Glenn Pearson with music Monroe Shackelford.
I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe I can fly. See, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes in silence can seem so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve. But first I know it starts inside of me. Oh, if I can see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe I can fly. Yeah, 'cause I believe in me. Oh, if I can see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe I can fly. If I just spread my wings, yeah, I can fly. I can fly. I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe I can fly. If I just spread my wings, I can fly. I can fly. I can fly. I can fly. I believe I can fly.
I think only one thing needs to be said after that. Have mercy. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased at this time to introduce our keynote speaker, Assemblymember Rob Bonta. Now, Mr. Bonta comes from a long pedigree of community service. His mother and father taught him the values of public service. They both worked in both the United Farm Workers Movement and the Civil Rights Movement, fighting for social, economic, and racial justice. Rob has served as board president of the Asian Pacific American Democratic Caucus of Alameda County. He's also been a board member of the Filipino Advocates for Justice and the Manila Town Heritage Foundation and is a founding member of the Filipino American Democratic Club of Alameda County. He graduated with honors from Yale with a degree in history, and after studying at Oxford in England, he returned to earn his Juris Doctorate from Yale Law School. I think it's important to note that in 2012, Rob Bonta was sworn in as the first Filipino to serve in the California legislature. Since his election, Assemblymember Bonta has been working to improve the lives of the people of the community that he serves. Most of you remember him from his term in Alameda City Council, where he distinguished himself as an effective leader who really promotes our schools, our community, and really fights for the everyday person. It's not often that you meet an individual committed to the principles of justice. It's not often that we see a courageous leader in our midst. We are so proud to have him speaking to you today, Assemblymember Rob Bonta.
Thank you, and good afternoon. How is everybody doing today? You look great. I'm excited to be here. That was some beautiful music, wasn't it? And it made me want to stand up and dance, but I didn't want to put you guys through that. So, but I'm excited to be here. I want to thank President Gravenberg for his very kind introduction and kind remarks. Thank you to the trustees, Mr. Chancellor, the faculty, staff, friends, and parents, and families of the class of 2014 and other distinguished guests. I am very honored to be here, and most of all, thank you and congratulations to the class of 2014. This is particularly exciting for me, a huge honor, very, very special, because I'm here in my hometown, where I live with my wife, Mia, and my 3 children, and where I had the honor to serve earlier in my career as the vice mayor. When President Gravenberg invited me to speak, I pored over a number of famous graduation speeches, thinking about what profound words of wisdom about envisioning the future that I, an elected official, could share with you today that you haven't already heard over the course of your lives from your parents, teachers, coaches, mentors, or others. Then I thought about my own 3 children. Reina, a high school freshman at Alameda High School, Ileana, a 3rd grader at Otis Elementary School here in Alameda, and Andres, who is just 2 weeks from today, will be in your position with other 5-year-olds graduating from ABC Preschool in Alameda. And I considered what I would say to each of them if they were sitting where you are today. And I thought I would give them 2 overarching pieces of encouragement, 2 thoughts. First, dream big, do what you love, and don't let anyone stand in your way. You're all here in part because you do that already. And second, make a difference by helping those who need it most in this world, and there are many. It's important to be a dreamer, to dream and to dream big, to imagine what can be, and then make it happen. Poet Langston Hughes, a leader of the Harlem Renaissance in the 1920s, said it best when he wrote, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." I want to take a moment to share with you a story about my own dreams. When I was a really young boy, younger than my son Andres is today, I told my mother, I want to be a dinosaur when I grow up. And just in case that didn't work out, I had a backup plan. I wanted to become a superhero. Talk about dreaming big, right? Without a pause, my mother told me, with all the warmth and encouragement that I had come to expect from her, "That's wonderful, babe. You can be whatever you want." It would be a couple of years before I learned the inherent limitations of becoming either a T-Rex or the Man of Steel. But it didn't stop my mother from encouraging me, and my belief in myself and what I could do with my life was never stifled. It was just that we don't live in a world where humans can grow 40 feet long and weigh 7 tons, complete with a powerful tail and a bite of force greater than any living creature, or have X-ray vision, super strength, and fly, for that matter. But I still held fast to my dreams, knowing that I could dream big and would have the support of my loved ones along the way. I want to recognize and commend the age diversity of all of you as a student body. About 43% of College of Alameda student body is age 25 or older. You prove every day that it is never too late to follow your dreams or get on the path that is best for you. As we all know, where you start is not necessarily where you end up. My own experience is a testament to this. You see, as I was dreaming of being a T-Rex and a superhero, I was also quite busy doing something else, being a terribly naughty little boy. My parents were activists, and as they attended planning meetings, demonstrations, protests, and rallies, I needed to be looked after. But the problem was no one wanted to babysit me. I would jump around on top of couches. I wouldn't listen. I would run away and try to roughhouse with other children. When my parents asked their colleagues to look after me, those colleagues would promptly try to trade away that responsibility to another colleague. Needless to say, I was very active and had a lot of energy as a young boy. Some time passed after those activist days, and my family and I moved from the Bay Area to Sacramento. No longer able to stay in touch with those same activist colleagues my parents grew up with. After my high school graduation, my mother reached back out to many of them, old friends, and announced to them that her son was in Yale. In response, she received solemn nods of understanding and averted gazes. She was confused. Everyone thought she had said, "He's in jail," and they understood that completely. You see, for those who had known me as a young boy, it made perfect sense that my life's trajectory would have led to a stay in a locked facility. But I did, in fact, have the deep privilege of attending Yale University in Connecticut, not jail, as both an undergraduate and a law student. And you can count on the fact that today, when I cross paths with any of the folks that did have the patience to babysit me as a young boy, the first thing I do is apologize profusely for what I put them through. Earlier this year, I was profiled in a news article in the Asian Journal. The interviewer talked to my mother and listed the accomplishments of my first year in the State Assembly, and my mother commented, "I did not imagine that he could accomplish all those things. It seemed like a miracle to have all that done." Well, I wonder if she was still envisioning the wild boy of many years ago. Ultimately, I think she was proud, if not incredibly relieved, of how that rambunctious 5-year-old ultimately turned out. So again, where you start is not where you end up. There's always time, and it's never too late to dream and to turn those dreams into a reality. And as we all know, life takes twists and turns. The road of your dreams is not always easy, and it's often fraught with obstacles and diversions. Upon graduation from law school, I started working at one of the most renowned law firms in the Bay Area. I learned an enormous amount and worked with some of the best attorneys I've ever had the opportunity to work with or know. I was there for nearly 4 years, and had I stayed, I would likely have become a partner, shared in the firm's substantial profits, and been incredibly comfortable financially. But there was just one problem. It wasn't for me. Representing large private corporations wasn't what moved me, and deep down, it wasn't what I loved. So I made a change. I joined an amazing public law office, the San Francisco City Attorney's Office, where I had the opportunity to work on issues that impacted public policy. And at the same time, I started volunteering on city commissions right here in this city, in Alameda, which eventually led me to run for and serve in publicly elected office. Thank you. So now I'm in a place where every morning I wake up and I can't believe I'm getting paid to do something I deeply love. And I did that mid-career as an adult, after being married, having kids. Where you end up isn't necessarily where you start. And yes, there will be setback and failure and much adversity along the way. Super Bowl winning football coach Mike Ditka once said, "Success is not permanent and failure is not fatal." So it's not whether you will face setbacks in the future, we all will, but how you respond to defeat and adversity. Let me share a story illustrating this point. Back in the 1990s, an immigrant couple settled down in Palo Alto. Not far from here, just a number of miles to the south of us. They were originally from Taiwan. In Palo Alto, they raised 3 sons. The father taught his sons to play basketball at the local YMCA, and the mother helped form a national junior basketball program in Palo Alto where her middle son played. This young man had the unlikely dream of becoming an NBA basketball player. But despite leading his team to the state title, being named first team All-State and Northern California Player of the Year, when it was time to go to college, no college recruiters came calling. No scholarship was offered. The young man ended up attending Harvard University. A Harvard coach recalled that during his freshman year, he was physically the weakest guy on the team. Yet by his senior year, he had set numerous team records and earned all sorts of individual accolades. Then the NBA draft came and went, and the young man was undrafted. It was deja vu. Same thing that happened in high school. His hometown team, our own Golden State Warriors, eventually signed him. But he played sparingly, was assigned 3 times. Go Warriors, I guess. Got some Warriors fans. He was assigned 3 times to the minor league team and was eventually released. But as many of you probably know, now that was not the end of the Jeremy Lin story. During the offseason, he worked to build up his strength and added muscle. He signed with the New York Knicks on a short-term contract. And then he had a defining moment. Faced with being cut on the last day of his contract, he had to perform in the game that night, or his dream was over. And perform he did, leading the Knicks to 7 straight victories. Linsanity swept the country. He's got a documentary now, and he plays for the Houston Rockets as an international star. Success is not permanent, and failure is not fatal. It's how we respond to adversity that will define what happens next. And the resilience and commitment that Jeremy Lin showed, the belief he had in himself, helped him achieve his very unlikely dream of becoming an NBA star. My second and final piece of encouragement this afternoon is to make a difference in this world by helping those who need it most. During the Civil Rights Movement, my father marched in Selma, Alabama, and there stood with Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. The day after Bloody Sunday, during which 600 marchers were attacked by local police with batons and tear gas, Dr. King said this: "A man dies when he refuses to stand up for that which is right. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for justice. A man dies when he refuses to take a stand for that which is true." And of course, the converse is true as well. A person lives when he or she stands up for justice, truth, and for what is right. One of the great joys of the human condition is that we share this amazing world of ours with a few billion others. But not everyone enjoys a life of happiness or can even meet their basic human needs: food, shelter, medical care. We struggle every day on this earth to achieve equity, opportunity, and justice for all. Quoting Dr. King again, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Another individual whose story is not yet well known as part of the fabric of America's story, but one I believe is truly worth sharing, is that of a gentleman named Jose Antonio Vargas. One of the things that I found to be incredibly rewarding about being an assembly member is that I have met a number of individuals who, by their own courage, strength, and commitment, inspire me to work as hard as I can to improve the lives of others, and Mr. Vargas is one of those people. Just 2 weeks ago, I had the honor of introducing Mr. Vargas at the annual API Heritage Month Awards banquet in Sacramento. He, along with a few other great leaders from the API community, were being recognized for their accomplishments in law, community service, labor, athletics, civil rights. Mr. Vargas is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who has written for numerous newspapers, including the Washington Post and New York Magazine, and many respected and hardworking journalists who have spent an entire career in the field never receive a Pulitzer, but he did so at the young age of 33. And it isn't his work as a journalist that I'd like to share with you. It's his acts of courage to do what he thinks is right and leave the complacency of working for the newspaper behind and speak out on an issue that the United States has for too long failed to address: immigration reform. You see, Mr. Vargas is undocumented. He immigrated from the Philippines as a 12-year-old and found out when he was 16 while at the DMV trying to get his license that his green card was fake. He successfully navigated school, college, and work as a journalist in his early adult life as an undocumented American, but he just grew tired of the lie he had been living. In his own words, "I was facing 30 and my life was superficially successful in terms of what I was doing career-wise, but I was just depressed. And I couldn't really face kind of the reality of the fact that I'm here illegally, and that at that point I hadn't seen my mother for 18 years, 17 years. I had been lying to all of my employers. I lied to them about my immigration status, and I just couldn't. I had to stop. At some point, I had to stop." And yes, sir, he sure did stop. With the threat of deportation in 2011, he wrote an essay that was printed in the New York Times. In it, he revealed his status as an undocumented immigrant in an effort to promote dialogue about the broken U.S. immigration system. It was also a way to advocate for the DREAM Act, which would help children in similar circumstances have a pathway to citizenship. A year later, and a day after the publication of his Time cover story about his continued uncertainty regarding his immigration status, the Obama administration announced its halt to the deportation of undocumented immigrants under age 30 eligible for the DREAM Act. Thank you. In no way could Mr. Vargas have predicted that his actions would have the impact that it had, but he stood with courage and conviction and committed himself to doing what he believed was right. The type of impact you each make will be different, but it will be profound. The main point is, do what you love and make a difference for those who need your help. All of us are shaped by our histories and life experience, and my parents intentionally instilled in me from a young age a passion for social justice and public service. This had a huge impact on my life and my pursuits, inspiring me to a life committed to serving people, helping people, both through law and now in public service. Just as one of 4 College of Alameda students was born outside of the United States, I too was born outside the United States in the Philippines, and I came to this country when I was 2 months old. My parents raised me at the headquarters of the United Farm Workers of America in a very special place called La Paz. There I grew up amidst one of the greatest peaceful social, racial, and economic justice movements of all time. And there my family and I lived side by side with legendary leaders we've all heard about and read about. Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, Philip Vera Cruz, Pete Velasco. But too few people know the full history behind the United Farm Workers, that the Agricultural Workers Organizing Committee, comprised predominantly of first-generation Filipinos, like the great Larry Itliong, initiated the Delano Grape Strike of 1965. They were later joined by the National Farm Workers Association, led by Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, and together formed the United Farm Workers of America, a beautiful collaborative movement formed by Mexican and Filipino laborers and labor leaders. Now, the UFW is one of the strongest and most powerful labor unions in the country. Never underestimate what everyday people, like the modest but hardworking farm laborers of the 60s and 70s, with a righteous mission and with a small group of like-minded others, can accomplish. In my mind, there is nothing more important than transforming lives for the better. Cesar Chavez said, "I'm convinced that the truest act of courage is to sacrifice ourselves for others in a totally nonviolent struggle for justice." For my part, I feel lucky that I'm able to live that dream. In the Assembly, this has been our credo for the last 18 months, improving the lives of Californians. After years of cuts, we're reinvesting for the first time in higher education. Every single school district in the state of California is receiving more funding in the current budget year than the past year. We've directed millions of dollars more in funding to our community colleges, our CSUs, our UCs. All of you here today are witness to the fact that education is the great equalizer. And there will be more funding on the way this year. So, while I may not have been able to realize the dream of being the greatest predator in the world or becoming Superman, I'm doing what I love, and I have been able to pursue and achieve my own personal dreams. As a lively young boy jumping on couches, I never would have imagined that I would become the first state assembly member of Filipino-American descent in more than 160 years of California's history. And with Filipino Americans comprising the largest and fastest growing Asian American group in the state, I'm confident I will not be the last. On my wall in my Capitol office, I've hung the picture of a Stockton hotel entrance in the 1920s with 4 simple words painted at eye level. It says, "Positively no Filipinos allowed." Of course, it's hung as a reminder of how Filipinos were treated in this country at that time. That was a time of anti-miscegenation laws and blatant racial discrimination. But it's equally important to note that it's hung as a reminder that we have come a long way. We've achieved progress, and that we can and will achieve much more. In closing, I want to leave you with the advice I would tell my children if they were sitting here today with family and friends celebrating this momentous occasion. Don't let the past be the measure of what can be accomplished in the future. Set new standards and break new ground. Challenge, probe, and question. Test limits and be inquisitive. Imagine how your community, your state, your country the world can be better and set out to make it so. Make a difference for those who need it most. That's how we'll progress as a society. I'm very fortunate that many of you are my constituents, but whether you are or you're not, if there's anything ever that I can do to help you, please don't hesitate to reach out. It would be my honor to help you realize your dreams and help you change the world for the better. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2014.
Assembly member, we have something for you to thank you for your services. We bestow upon you this plaque of appreciation for serving as our keynote speaker this afternoon. You know, being a student is not easy. Many students work. Many students get financial aid. But if it wasn't for some of the scholarships that were available, many of our students wouldn't be here today. And I personally want to thank the Peralta Community College Foundation for all the great work that they've done. Gentlemen, if you could raise your hand, please. Now, we had an event that was back early part of this month where our associated students had a scholarship event. It was well attended, and we had a number of individuals who were recipients of some distinguished awards. And one of those I'd like to honor and recognize now. Before I do that, I think one of the things I want to point out in your program is that you'll notice that a lot of our students who receive scholarships are listed in that program, and you'll see kind of an H by their name. Let me ask those students, these are our honor students, who have GPAs from 3.25 to 3.49 to stand up. Thank you. Let me ask those students who have a GPA of 3.5 to 3.74, high honor students, to stand up. And then finally, let me ask those students graduating with what we call our highest honors, with the GPAs of 3.75 to 4.0, to please stand. At this time, I'd like to present the first ever President's Medallion Award winner, and it goes to Selma Adams. Selma grew up in Sudan, where going to college was a daydream that she believed would never come true. But you see, you fast forward now, and she's accomplished her goal. She'll be graduating this spring with a GPA of 3.86, with an associate science degree in mathematics. Okay, and how tough is that? Well, I'm not finished, okay? She's already been accepted to a number of institutions: UC Berkeley, UC Irvine, UC Davis, San Francisco State, San Jose State, CSU East Bay. And I think you've chosen UC Davis. Let's give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Selma, congratulations on being the first Medallion Award winner. Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce our salutatory, Ms. Emily Carver. The great poet Maya Angelou quoted, "One isn't always born with courage, but one is born with potential. Without courage, we cannot practice any other virtue with consistency." And here at College of Alameda, It is our mission to serve the educational needs of our diverse community by providing comprehensive, flexible programs and resources to help our students achieve their goals. Such is a student as Emily Carver. Now, Emily has achieved a 3.95 4-semester GPA and a 4.0 GPA for the last 3 semesters. Okay. She's been accepted to 2 outstanding institutions, and she hasn't made up her mind yet. Bethune-Cookman University School of Nursing in Daytona Beach, and then Southern Connecticut State University Nursing Program, 2 outstanding institutions. You need to also understand, as a student athlete, she received the College of Alameda Women's Volleyball Scholarship Athlete Award of the Year for 2013 and 14. And she served as the Cougar Women's Volleyball Team co-captain. She has a number of other awards. She's part of the 2013 Bay Valley All-Conference First Team that helped our women Cougars achieve the highest acclaim of going to the Sweet 16 ever in our history. As a top academic achiever of the class 2014, I'm excited to produce to you Emily Carver as our salutatorian. Emily, on behalf of a proud faculty, staff, and community, please accept this award on our behalf. And now, our valedictorian, Nathaniel Yee. He is our valedictorian for the 2014. We're graduating from College of Alameda with a 4.0. Now, he's not only devoted to academic excellence, he's also devoted to helping others. He's done so by being involved in volunteering at the food bank, Meals on Wheels, at his church, and you can see him helping students around this campus. His devotion for academic excellence is exemplary. His commitment to helping others cannot be compared. He is going to be attending as an undergraduate the Olin College of Engineering, another bright mind, and he wants to say a few words to you today. Nathaniel.
Good afternoon. Can you tell me when the volume's right? Is this good? All right, good. So I'd like to thank the President Board of Trustees, President Gravenberg, faculty, staff, administration, other dignitaries, family, friends, and last of all, the graduates of College of Alameda 2014. Today, we're gathered here to mark a milestone in each of our lives. Some of us entered College of Alameda directly out of high school. Others went to the workforce, and others the military. But regardless of where you are stationed in life, you should be proud of your accomplishments and achievements. This is your day. My journey at College of Alameda began, believe it or not, 5 years ago, in the fall of 2009. Before this, I had been homeschooled by my parents and the Alameda Oakland Home Learners Association for my elementary and preteen years. However, all of that changed when I knew more math than my parents, and they could no longer teach me. So, at the age of 13, they enrolled me at a geometry class at College of Alameda. As I was usually one of the youngest students in my class, often I'd have a couple inquisitive looks, but as I got older, I kind of blended in a little bit more. But one thing has not changed with age, and that is my tendency to ask questions. I can see a couple of my classmates smiling. They've been in my math and physics. It's pretty terrible. So sometimes I'd ask questions, and my professors would start going off on tangents, and we'd be learning material not even related to our required coursework, especially in my math and physics classes. So if I can see a couple of you, yeah. If you were in particular my physics classes, I want to apologize. Hope I didn't take too much of your time. Another thing I've learned is at College of Alameda is not necessarily academic. I've also learned about people. In particular, I've come to realize that our community at College of Alameda is a reflection of our surrounding community. Our student body is composed of numerous nationalities, ethnic heritage, backgrounds, races, creeds, sexual orientations, and physical capabilities. We have all been challenged and tested by our academic curriculum, society, and life itself in so many different ways. But regardless of our differences and daily challenges, we are unified in common goals as students to improve ourselves, improve our local communities, and improve our world. Graduates, I call upon you to stand up, step into new shoes, maybe ask a few questions, and continue your journey. Congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
Nathaniel, on behalf of the outstanding academic accomplishments, College of Alameda proudly presents you with this achievement. Thank you.